This is Krishna Priya from Amsterdam. Please accept my obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Oh.
I haven't put the webcam on, so I will do that later on.
Okay, we can communicate.
Yes, at least I got so far. I can see you though. Quite different from your profile picture.
Hare Krishna. Wait, I have another.
Krishna Priya from Amsterdam. Please accept my obeisances.
There's a feedback loop.
I haven't put the webcam on, so
hold on. Technical.
I will do that later on.
Technical difficulties here. Okay, we can communicate. I think I got rid of it. Are you there? Hello? Hello? Where did you go? Hello? Hey, Haribol.
Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Priya was Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Haribol.
Haribol, Dandavat, Vanchakapatari Vasha, Gita Sindhari Vasha, Patitanam Savanubhyo Vaishnava Namaha.
Vanchakapatari Vasha. Jai. Krishna, Krishna. What time is it there? What time is it there?
Sorry?
What time is it there? What is your time?
Now it's time 4 o'clock p.m.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Perfect.
Nice. Also here in the Netherlands.
Yes, I am in the office. I'm not home.
Hare Krishna Tanga Vidya, I think is yes.
Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol, Vanchakalpa.
I saw yesterday you were successful, this devotee from India, from Visakhapatnam. And I thought, oh, now if he could join, then maybe we will know how to join me also. I was very enthusiastic yesterday. I saw someone who could join, and I said, oh, definitely I will have to join.
Right.
Hare Krishna.
Someone else came?
I'm Krishna Priya from Amsterdam.
Oh, nice.
But I haven't installed my webcam yet, so you cannot really see me.
It's very good, but you know, here is a big place, and I don't hear good. I will check if there is some
earphones.
Yeah.
I have to also actually get. What are we reading? Bhagavad Gita, Mataji, right?
Yeah. We can.
So
yes.
I'm going to get my Bhagavad Gita then.
Okay, super.
Me too. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Punjabi Hari Gopi Jana Balava Krishna Priya. Krishna Priya, are you there? Oh, she's not there yet. I wonder if she can see us. We can't see her, but maybe she can probably see us, huh?
Yes, there is one another. It is written Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see Meena and I see Krishna also.
She's gone to get her.
Mataji Krishna. Is this a Mataji with the name Krishna?
Krishna Priya.
Ah, Krishna Priya. Yes, yes, yes. Because there is Krishna is for male and female. If you say Krishna, then it is for male. If you say Krishna, then it is for a female.
Mm.
I know one Mataji from Delhi. Her name is Krishna.
Mm. Mm.
Yes, interesting.
Yes.
I didn't know until I met her. I didn't know.
Maybe. Oh, good. You got your headphones. That's good. Now you can-
Yeah. Because here is a big place, so I don't hear good.
Oh, you're at the office.
Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Krishna Priya, are you there yet?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I just came.
Oh,
We can't see you, but can you see us?
Yes, I can see both of you. Vaishnaveभ्यो namo namaha.
Does someone want to chant a little bit first? I don't think we can do it like a regular kirtan.
Yeah.
But if does someone want to chant a little bit before Hare Krishna mantra? Wait, who's this?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji Sangha.
Yes, Mataji Sangha is more. Are you recording this as well?
We can edit it. It's being recorded, but I can edit it.
Okay, because I'm not looking at my best.
Yes. If we're embarrassing or something, we can edit. No
Yes, I think I have to adjust the camera and things, so.
Yeah.
Camera is okay. Most
Oh,
important is you are here.
yeah. And you did it so quick. You got set up like in 2 minutes.
Yes, I thought, let me try.
Nice. Very
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, so. Nice to have you both in association. So this is different than just reading every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haribol, Krishna's providing.
Jai.
So we can do it. He's providing this.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Utilizing all these facilities
yeah.
to try to become more Krishna conscious.
Yeah.
I tried to reach her from last week, I think, Mataji Meena.
Well, I have been reading the invitations and then kind of not getting to do it. But then I thought, I promised Meena Mataji I will do it in this week. And today I was just sitting and trying. And just in time I got connected.
Right.
So
who's
Mataji, you played Mridanga last. Meena Mataji plays Mridanga, I think.
Yeah,
like an old lady, tip tap.
Oh, maybe I brought my karatas, huh?
Yes,
no, but it's not possible because it's the difference in the time. So actually, if I do like this, it will be like a noise.
But just one person can do, and we can listen.
Yeah,
so
better.
Who's gonna do it?
Yeah.
Oh,
You start.
No, you start, Mataji.
Yes. You invite us. You please start. Then we will follow.
Oh, you want to be tortured by my chanting? Okay.
Of course. This torture will be very blissful for us.
Yes.
Prabhupada, please. Krishna.
Jai.
Vaishnavacharyas, please. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement.
Ki Jai.
He wants to give everyone his love of God. Everyone. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Nine Vishnupada, Paramahansa, Parvati, Jaya, Asa Saraswati, Shri Divine Grace, Asa Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Hare Krishna, Vanchikapati Rubhyascha, Krishna
Kripasindhyoti,
Krishna,
Anam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Evil.
Hare Krishna. Someone else wanted just for a few minutes?
No, it's nice.
Mataji, will you?
My voice is not very nice.
Very good, very
It's
good. We will not listen to your voice. We will try to hear your devotion for Krishna.
Even that I don't have. Just croaking like a frog.
No problem, no problem. You remember, I don't know whether you heard, but when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was leaving this material world, he asked the devotees, Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Maharaj to sing for him. And other devotees was thinking, oh, he has so not good voice, not written, nothing. So they arranged some other devotee, very nice voice, very devotional. He was singing, and that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, "Stop! I want my Sridhar Maharaj to sing."
I think I read that.
And yes, they brought him here, and they said, "Your Gurudev wants you to sing," and he said, "I want to hear a devotion." So don't think about your voice.
Okay.
It depends what you have in your heart. So better you sing. When I will sing, nothing of this will be heard.
So go ahead, Mataji, please sing.
What? Mahamantra.
Yes, Mahamantra is the best.
Yes.
Okay. I prefer to sing also but okay.
For now.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol 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 Gaura Hari Bol.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey.
You're welcome. I was singing for Krishna and my Gurudev, so I hope they
Perfect.
were not looking on my material ego and my, I don't know, only whatever. But I give from my heart. You know,
Yeah.
I give from my
Yeah,
heart.
good.
Something must be there. Otherwise, why would I do all these things? To
Yes.
be now with two Matajis in the different planes of this world and be happy to listen about Krishna, to see nice devotees' face, whether I am crazy or I really feel something for Krishna. And being in the office, and
Yeah.
on an old computer, because my computer is finished. I wanted to be on this Sangha, but my computer just stopped work. Now I'm in the office, and
It's going fine. Krishna
I
is
want to hear
profiling it.
about Krishna. This is very nice. I was yesterday, Mataji Meena, she said, we will read about Bhagavad Gita. And I remembered one verse. One verse I was looking yesterday, was looking for this verse because I'm, my mind and I'm completely no jnana. And then I was, by Krishna's mercy, by Gurudev's mercy, this verse came to me, and it is the 9th verse in 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and it is said that devotees like to come together, and they feel bliss when they are speaking about Krishna, listening about Krishna. So beautiful.
Yes, it must be the key verses from the Bhagavad Gita, isn't it?
Yes, one of
Chapter
the 4.
10.
Yeah, one of the 4.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante maam buddha bhava samanvita. Machita madgata prana bodhayantas parasparam kathayantas cha maam nityam tushanti cha ramanti cha. That's the verse. I think it's 10:10.
Yes, 10:10.
It is 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Yes.
Yes. And then the ninth said the devotees feel happiness.
Great happiness and lighting each other about me.
Yes. So.
And he says, out of compassion, I dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp.
Yes, and this is the 9th verse, and I have here, oh, I'm lost now. I was reading, I was looking for this Bhagavad Gita, where there's commentaries of Chakravarti Thakur, Sarartha Varshini, and it is said in the 9th verse. I will read what he said. He said, Krishna said, by my mercy, only exclusive devotees attain Buddha Yoga, and although Tattva Gyan, which is enriched by the above mentioned characteristic, is difficult to conceive, they attain it. Machika refers to those whose minds are attracted to tasting the sweetness of my name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Madgata prana refers to those who cannot maintain their lives without me, just as a person cannot maintain his life without food. Bodhayantah means that such people lovingly enlighten each other about the nature and varieties of bhakti. Man means my names, qualities, and pastimes are great ocean of sweetness.
Yes, this is
They
associated.
attain bliss while describing and loudly chanting them. Therefore, hearing, chanting, and remembering Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran are superior to all other processes of bhakti. Such exclusive devotees attain satisfaction and bliss by performing this type of bhakti. This is a secret. In other words, by good fortune, means by good fortune, they also attain satisfaction, and even during the stage of sadhana, which is for us, of course, we are on sadhana, they perform unobstructed bhajan, contemplating their future stage of perfection, Sanvyadasha, of sporting with Krishna. Sri Bhagavan's statements here describe Raganuga Bhakti only. Sir, very, very, very
Exalted.
prominent.
This is the Rasika Vaishnav.
Very exalted stage.
Yeah, yeah. So it is good. It is good because sometimes I heard some devotees was speaking, oh, you know, this Vaidhi Bhakti, you know, this practice is
Rules and regulations.
is not so, you know, this is actually not pure bhakti like this, but it is not true. You can see Krishna said even those devotees in a sadhana level, they can perform the sadhana raganuga bhakti. So when you open your heart, and if Krishna gives blessing, then you can also feel. You cannot feel as Uttamadhikari devotee. Our devotees are coming from, from above or something like this. But even in a sadhana stage, you can perform Shuddha Bhakti. Any stage.
I've seen that. That's a mistake that some devotees make, is they think it's either or.
Yeah.
Either you're a Vaidhi Bhakti and you're just doing rules and regulations, or you're a spontaneous Bhakti and you don't need rules and regulations.
Yes. You can be spontaneous.
Rupa Goswami clarifies that in that verse from Upadeshamrita. He says, to disregard the rules is a mistake, and to simply follow them for the sake of following them is also a mistake. So those things, they're not seen in the right perspective. But
but it is not difficult to see.
What do you think, Krishna, Priya? Your understanding is good, isn't it?
But Meena, you were in contact with a pure devotee. So Srila Prabhupada was in a level of Uttamadhikar, and he perfectly followed all the rules and the regulations. Can we say that he was not spontaneous? He was completely spontaneous. He was practicing he was showing us the highest level of bhakti, and this includes also his rules and regulations. Why would he give it to us and show to us? He's following these rules and regulations. Actually, when you are more elevated, you see by yourself how necessary it is.
Actually, Rupa Goswami, we're followers of Rupa Goswami, all of us, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas.
Yeah.
He says there's only two rules. Always accept everything favorable for Krishna consciousness, reject everything unfavorable.
Yes.
So that's really the only rules.
Yes.
Some people, they may not be able to follow so many rules and regulations. Someone who's more Brahminical, they may be able to.
Yeah.
The real thing is to always be going toward Krishna, and that comes from hearing and being attracted to the pure messages of Godhead. So there's a lot of things that try to get in there to block that, but that's really what it is. And when we look at like the Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami, he didn't follow any rules or regulations. I'm not saying we should compare ourselves to Sukadev Goswami, but we see he came right out of the womb, fully Krishna conscious. He didn't go through Brahminical initiation. He didn't go through anything. As a matter of fact, he was walking around with no clothes on.
But Brahmabhuta stage.
Followed by a bunch of crazy people laughing at him and making fun of him. But it didn't matter.
When he came, all these rishis, everyone that was present there, all stood up. Why they stood up? They stood up because they saw him as superior. So we cannot see from outside. We cannot see anything from outside. These rishis, they had spiritual eyes. They saw this is a sacred person.
These rules and structures and varnashram dharma, all these things they're there to help us become Krishna conscious. What happens is we get attached to the rules and the regulations and the structures, and we lose sight of where we're supposed to use them. There are tools, there are facilities, but instead we become captured by them, and then we lose it. So we're practicing, that's why we have to have the association of the pure devotees. Otherwise, it's like these things in and of themselves, we think, oh, austerities, if I just do austerities, or, if I just do this or do that, like it's a magic formula, something I can manipulate and do, like it was a machine.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's not like that at all. I was just reading in the Chaitanya Mangala how Lord Chaitanya, he's revealing himself to Murari Gupta in the Boar incarnation, and he's saying, what is the use of austerities? They won't get you the Krishna prema. They won't get you the love of God. So only the Lord himself can give that. It's so, it's whatever we think it isn't.
Yeah.
Then people fight. Oh, I have the way. It's my way. I have the way. I know this structure or that rule or this form, and they hold on to it, and then they fight. No, my way. No, your way. It's not like that. Not like that at all. Dependent on Krishna completely. But
Yes.
anyway, you want to read something?
Yes, of course. We will read
Now,
Bhagavad Gita.
you somehow avoided chanting.
Oh, no, she can chant.
You
She can
escaped.
chant if she likes.
Hey.
It's,
Now I'm just listening to what you're saying, taking it in.
You're not getting off the hook completely.
but you should
Now,
also say something. You should not neglect us, Because,
Before we start reading.
This is Kirtan, Shravan.
Shravan Kirtan Smaranam.
Yes,
Yes.
let's
Because
hear
if only I speak and you not speak, all these Mataji
You want me to-
wanted to, this exchange of energies, not just, one person speaking and don't know to whom speaks.
Okay.
So we have to speak.
No,
and
it's
listen.
associating together means everyone partaking. So
So Krishna Priya is going to help us.
you want me to sing something too?
Yes, definitely. Why would just me be embarrassed?
Now let me embarrass myself. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Pasajat Tishatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Jai Shila Prabhupada Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Right. Nice.
So you hear my croaky voice.
No. So lovely, so part of. I like.
Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai.
Jai.
So you're going to read something from the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes. What are we going to do?
Where did you stop yesterday?
Well, with the brahmachari, the young man, we were just reading from the very beginning. We were reading in the introduction. We can do that. Keep going.
So continue following. Yes.
Okay.
Which verse is this?
Which you have? You may have a different copy. What do you have?
No, I have both. I have your same.
I have this one.
Origin Bhagavad Gita from 1972, and I have also this one.
We both have 1972, so.
Yeah, reprint.
Yes, sorry, 1972. Yes, I have that one also.
Yes, I have the reprint, not the original.
Was that introduction in it?
Just the verses are everywhere the same. It just maybe the commentary is then a little different because everybody put their own ras.
The introduction captures Srila Prabhupada's mood, and it's Prabhupada. It's a fairly long introduction, and
Yes,
Yes,
beautiful.
that is perfect. There
It's
is
very
all
nice. I love
there.
it.
he's
What is
pouring out
the page
his heart.
number, Mataji?
Hmm?
The page number, what is
Page number, yes.
Page 4.
Page 4, okay.
Hmm.
4?
Page
Page
4
4.
of the
Okay.
introduction.
Okay, 1 second.
And which paragraph?
It starts where they're saying the types of devotees.
Yeah.
No, actually, we didn't leave
Arjun
off.
was in a relationship with the Lord as a friend, or you were before that?
Actually, it's after that. The next page, 5.
5.
After hearing Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, almost to the bottom.
Okay, yes. After hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes,
Is
why
this
don't you keep
before,
going? That's good.
before these pictures, photos, or after?
Oh, you're looking online?
Yeah, I'm looking online, yes, because I don't have it in my hand. I
It
don't
is the
have it
paragraph
here without me.
after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, I will try to find this number 4. X.
Which site are you on? Krishna.com or Krishna Path or which one?
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada books.
1 second. Prabhupada books, yes,
Yeah,
okay.
Prabhupada books.com.
Original authorized Macmillan edition.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
should be introduction
3,
now.
So,
4. Now I will in page 4. Yes.
Okay,
5.
page
Okay.
5.
I will find. You just start.
Okay, we start read, then you look up, then
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Krishna Priya, you have already started, so maybe.
Yes, how is my voice sounding actually? I'm not sure.
Perfect.
Yes, okay, you
Yes,
can
good.
follow.
Yes, I can
So,
hear you very good.
okay, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om
Om
Namo
Namah
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. After hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Param Brahma, the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is Brahman, but the Supreme Living Being, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Supreme Brahman. Param Dham means that he is the supreme rest or abode of everything. Pavitram means that he is pure, untainted by material contamination. Purusham means that he is the supreme enjoyer. Divyam, transcendental. Adi Devam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ajam, the unborn. And Vibhum, the greatest, the all-pervading. Now one may think that because Krishna was the friend of Arjuna, Arjuna was telling him all this by way of flattery. But Arjun, just to drive out this kind of doubt from the minds of the readers of Bhagavad Gita, substantiates these praises in the next verse when he says that Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead not only by himself but by authorities like the sage Narad, Asit, Devala, Vyasdev, and so on. These are great personalities who distribute the Vedic knowledge as it is accepted by all acharyas. Therefore, Arjun tells Krishna that he accepts whatever he says to be completely perfect. Sarvam etat ritat manye. I accept everything you say to be true. Arjun also says that the personality of the Lord is very difficult to understand, and yet he cannot be known even by the great demigods. This means that the Lord cannot even be known by personalities greater than human beings. So how can a human being understand Sri Krishna without becoming his devotee? Therefore, Bhagavad Gita should be taken up in a spirit of devotion. One should not think that he is equal to Krishna, nor should he think that Krishna is an ordinary personality or even a very great personality. Lord Sri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, at least theoretically, according to the statements of Bhagavad Gita or the statements of Arjun, the person who is trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita. We should therefore at least theoretically accept Sri Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, and with that submissive spirit we can understand the Bhagavad Gita. Unless one reads the Bhagavad Gita in a submissive spirit, it is very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita because it is a great mystery. Just what is the Bhagavad Gita? The purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to deliver mankind from the nations of material existence. Every man is in difficulty in so many ways, as Arjun also was in difficulty in having to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. Arjun surrendered unto Sri Krishna, and consequently this Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Not only Arjun, but every one of us is full of anxieties because of this material existence. Our very existence is in the atmosphere of non-existence. Actually, we are not meant to be threatened by non-existence. Our existence is eternal, but somehow or other, we are put into asat. Asat refers to that which does not exist. Carry on, Mataji.
Yes. Very good.
Out of so many human beings who are suffering, there are few who are actually inquiring about their position as to what they are, why they are put into this awkward position, and so on. Unless one is awakened to this position of questioning this suffering, unless he realizes that he doesn't want the suffering but rather wants to make a solution to all sufferings, then one is not to be considered a perfect human being. Humanity begins when this sort of inquiry is awakened in one's mind. In the Brahma Sutra, this inquiry is called Brahma Jigyasa. Every activity of the human being is to be considered a failure unless he inquires about the nature of the Absolute. Therefore, those who begin to question why they are suffering or where they came from and where they shall go after death are proper students for understanding Bhagavad Gita. The sincere student should also have a firm respect for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a student was Arjun. Lord Krishna descends specifically to re-establish the real purpose of life when man forgets that purpose. Even then, out of many, many human beings who awaken, there may be one who actually enters the spirit of understanding his position. And for him, this Bhagavad Gita is spoken. Actually, we are all followed by the tiger of nations. But the Lord is very merciful upon living entities, especially human beings. To this end, he spoke the Bhagavad Gita, making his friend Arjun his student. Being an associate of Lord Krishna, Arjun was above all ignorance. But Arjun was put into ignorance on the battlefield of Kurukshetra just to question Lord Krishna about the problems of life, so that the Lord could explain them for the benefit of future generations of human beings and chalk out the plan of life. Then men could act accordingly and perfect the mission of human life. The subject of the Bhagavad Gita entails the comprehension of 5 basic truths. First of all, the science of God is explained, and then the constitutional position of the living entities, jivas. There is Ishvara, which means controller, and there are jivas, the living entities which are controlled. If a living entity says that he is not controlled, but that he is free, then he is insane. The living being is controlled in every respect, at least in the conditioned life. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter deals with the Ishvara, the supreme controller, and the jivas, the controlled living entities. Prakriti, material nature, and time, the duration of existence of the whole universe, or the manifestation of material nature, and karma, activity, are also discussed. The cosmic manifestation is full of different activities. All living entities are engaged in different activities. From Bhagavad Gita, we must learn what God is, what the living entities are, what Prakriti is, what the cosmic manifestation is, and how it is controlled by time, and what the activities of the living entities are. Out of these 5 basic subject matters in Bhagavad Gita, it is established that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Krishna, or Brahman, or Supreme Controller, or Paramatma, you may use whatever name you like, is the greatest of all. The living beings are in quality like the Supreme Controller. For instance, the Lord has control over the universal affairs, over material nature, etc., as will be explained in the later chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Material nature is not independent. She is acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord. As Lord Krishna says, Prakriti is working under my direction. When we see wonderful things happening in the cosmic nature, we should know that behind this cosmic manifestation there is a controller. Nothing could be manifested without being controlled. It is childish not to consider the controller. For instance, a child may think that an automobile is quite wonderful to be able to run without a horse or other animal pulling it. But the sane man knows the nature of the automobile's engineering arrangement. He is always know that behind the machinery there is a man, a driver. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is a driver under whose direction everything is working. Now the jivas, or the living entities, have been accepted by the Lord, as we will note in the later chapters, as His parts and parcels. A particle of gold is also gold, a drop of water from the ocean is also salty, and similarly, we, the living entities, being part and parcel of the Supreme Controller, Ishvara or Bhagavan, Lord Sri Krishna, have all the qualities of the Supreme Lord in minute quantity, because we are minute Ishwaras, subordinate Ishwaras. We are trying to control nature, as presently we are trying to control space or planets, and this tendency to control is there because it is in Krishna. But although we have a tendency to lord it over material nature, we should know that we are not the Supreme Controller. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Someone, Mataji wants to read. It's nice to read together.
I don't hear Mataji Bima.
You don't hear? Meena Mataji, you're there?
I turned it off because I didn't want, I was making some sound.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Hare Krishna. What is material nature? This is also explained in Gita as inferior prakriti, inferior nature. The living entity is explained as the superior prakriti. Prakriti is always under control, whether inferior or superior. Prakriti is female, and she is controlled by the Lord, just as, just as the activities of a wife are controlled by the husband. Prakriti is always subordinate, predominated by the Lord, who is the predominator. The living entities and material nature are both predominated, controlled by the Lord. According to the Gita, the living entities, although parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, are to be considered Prakriti. This is clearly mentioned in the 7th chapter, 5th verse of the Bhagavad Gita, Apariyam itas tvanyam. This Prakriti is my lower nature. Prakritim vidime param jivabhuta mahabaho yaedam daryate jagat. Beyond this, there is another Prakriti, Jivabhutam, the living entity. Prakriti itself is constituted by 3 qualities: the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. Above these modes there is eternal time. By a combination of these modes of nature, and under the control and purview of eternal time, there are activities which are called karma. These activities are being carried out from time immemorial, and we are suffering or enjoying the fruits of our activities. For instance, suppose I am a businessman, and I have worked very hard with intelligence and have amassed a great bank balance. Then I am an enjoyer. But then say I have lost all my money in business. Then I am a sufferer. Similarly, in every field of life, we enjoy the results of our work, or we suffer the results. This is called karma. Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, Jiva, the living entity, Prakriti, nature, eternal time, and karma, activity, are all explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Out of these 5, the Lord, the living entities, material nature, and time are eternal. The manifestation of Prakriti may be temporary, but it is not false. Some philosophers say that the manifestation of material nature is false. But according to the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, or according to the philosophy of the Vaishnavas, this is not so. The manifestation of the world is not accepted as false. It is accepted as real, but temporary. It is likened unto a cloud which moves across the sky, or the coming of the rainy season which nourishes grains. As soon as the rainy season is over, and as soon as the cloud goes away, all the crops which were nourished by the rain dry up. Similarly, this material manifestation takes place at a certain interval, stays for a while, and then disappears. Such are the workings of Prakriti. But this cycle is working eternally. Therefore, Prakriti is eternal. It's not false. The Lord refers to this as my Prakriti. This material nature is the separated energy of the Supreme Lord, and similarly, the living entities are also the energy of the Supreme Lord. But they are not separated. They are eternally related. So the Lord, the living entity, material nature, and time are all interrelated and are all eternal. However, the other item, material karma, is not eternal. The effects of karma may be very old indeed. We are suffering or enjoying the results of our activities from time immemorial, but We can change the results of our karma or our activity, and this change depends on the perfection of our knowledge. We are engaged in various activities. Undoubtedly, we do not know what sort of activities we should adopt to gain relief from the actions and reactions of all these activities. But this is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Chanting, your turn. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
More?
Your turn. You can read?
Little, huh? Okay.
You know where it is? Did you see the place?
Yes, the position of Ishvara is that of supreme consciousness. The jivas, or the living entities, being parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, are also conscious. Both the living entity and the material nature are explained as Prakriti, the energy of the Supreme Lord, but one of the two, the jiva, is conscious. The other Prakriti is not conscious. That is the difference. Therefore, the jiva prakriti is called superior, because the jiva has consciousness which is similar to the Lord's. The Lord's is supreme consciousness, however, and one should not claim that the jiva, the living entity, is also supremely conscious. The living being cannot be supremely conscious at any stage of his perfection, and the theory that he can be so is a misleading theory. Conscious he may be, but he is not perfectly or supremely conscious. The distinction between the jiva and the Ishvara will be explained in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord is Kshetrajna, conscious, as is the living being, but the living being is conscious of his particular body, whereas the Lord is conscious of all bodies. Because he lives in the heart of every living being, he is conscious of the physical moments of the particular jivas. We should not forget this. It is also explained that the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is living in everyone's heart as Ishvara, as the controller, and that he is giving directions for the living entity to act as he desires. The living entity forgets what to do. First of all, he makes a determination to act in a certain way, and then he is entangled in the acts and reactions of his own karma. After giving up one kind of body, he enters another type of body, as we put on and take off old clothes. As the soul thus migrates, he suffers the actions and reactions of his past activities. These activities can be changed when the living being is in the mood of goodness, insanity, and understands what sort of activities he should adopt. If he does so, then all the actions and reactions of his past activities can be changed. Consequently, karma is not eternal. Therefore, we stated that of the 5 items, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Time, and Karma, 4 are eternal, whereas karma is not eternal. The Supreme Conscious Ishvara is similar to the living entity in this way. Both the consciousness of the Lord and that of the living entity are transcendental. It is not that consciousness is generated by the association of matter. This is a mistaken idea. The theory that consciousness develops under certain circumstances of material combination is not accepted in the Bhagavad Gita. Consciousness may be pervertedly reflected by the covering of material circumstances, just as light reflected through colored glass may appear to be a certain color. But the consciousness of the Lord is not materially affected. Lord Krishna says, Mayadya Kshema Prakriti. When he descends into the material universe, his consciousness is not materially affected. If he were so affected, he would be unfit to speak of transcendental matters, as he does in the Bhagavad Gita. One cannot say anything about the transcendental world without being free from material consciousness. At the so the Lord is not materially contaminated. I lost myself because I had to materially contaminated. Our consciousness at the present moment, however, is materially contaminated. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that we have to purify this material contaminated consciousness. In pure consciousness, our actions will be dovetailed to the will of Ishvara, and that will make us happy. It is not that we have to cease all activities. Rather, our activities are to be purified, and purified activities are called bhakti. Activities in bhakti appear to be like ordinary activities, but they are not contaminated. An ignorant person may see that a devotee is acting or working like an ordinary man, but such a person with a poor fund of knowledge does not know that the activities of the devotee or of the Lord are not contaminated by impure consciousness or matter. They are transcendental to the three modes of nature. We should know, however, that at this point our consciousness is contaminated. When we are materially contaminated, we are called conditioned. False consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am the product of material nature. This is called false ego. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conception cannot understand his situation. Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from the bodily conception of life, and Arjuna put himself in this position in order to receive this information from the Lord. One must become free from the bodily conception of life. That is the preliminary activity for the transcendentalist. One who wants to become free, wants to become liberated, must first of all learn that he is not this material body. Mukti or liberation means freedom from material consciousness. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also the definition of liberation is given. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and situation in pure consciousness. All the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are intent to awaken this pure consciousness, and therefore we find at the last stage of the Gita's instructions that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he is now in purified consciousness. Purified consciousness means acting in accordance with the instructions of the Lord. This is the wholesome and substance of purified consciousness. Consciousness is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. But for us there is affinity of being affected by the inferior modes. But the Lord, being the Supreme, is never affected. That is the difference between the Supreme Lord and conditioned souls. I'm sorry for my English. I'm
Very
not
nice.
very good.
No, very nice.
Jai. It's about 11 o'clock, so we've gone for about an hour.
Yeah.
We did so much in this 1 hour. It was
Nice.
so nice.
Yes.
Like,
This introduction.
it's like the
Introduction is so
eternal time condensed in
constant.
1 hour.
Yes,
No
concentrate.
time.
Whole Bhagavad Gita, all the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in one small concentrated, like in a small shell.
Yes.
It's really, actually,
The
when I
magic.
was first time reading Bhagavad Gita, I was reading this preface. And when I read this preface, Mataji read this before, There, Srila Prabhupada said, if you want to understand Bhagavad Gita, then at least theoretically you should accept that
Krishna is the Supreme Person.
Yes. And when I read this, when I first time read Bhagavad Gita, I was thinking, I want to understand this Bhagavad Gita. I will not tell all the story why this happened. Maybe next time. But I said, if this Prabhuji said this, that I should accept theoretically that Krishna is God, so let it be. I accept theoretically that Krishna is God. And this was my first service to Srila Prabhupada. And he gave me such a blessing that I am still here and I'm still reading his Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
This is the blessing of a pure devotee.
Prabhupada has opened the path up for everyone. Prabhupada opened the path up for all the Vaishnavas.
Yes.
He opened it. It was locked. It was stuck. He opened it up for everyone. So it's incredible service.
Pure devotee can really change life of many. Of course, these many also has to have their Sukriti. If they don't have Sukriti, so many people were reading Bhagavad Gita of Srila Prabhupada, but they don't become a devotee.
What's Sukriti? Explain Sukriti. Oh, pious. They have to have pious, correct. Sukriti.
Actually, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada gave people first Sukriti too, in many cases, just by letting them buy a book or give a donation, just say Hare Krishna, they get the Sukriti to go further. Even if you don't have a Sukriti, just by making a first step, which Srila Prabhupada gave that chance by, giving his books so liberally to anyone and everyone. They start that little bit of Sukriti to go further.
Actually, without this Bhakti Sukriti, because there's many Sukritis, but without Bhakti Sukriti, which means you have to do some good deed, not just good deed, anything
spiritual
for the pure devotee of Krishna. You can do many good things in this world, but you will never come to Krishna. But if you do knowingly or unknowingly one good thing, like you see, maybe Srila Prabhupada is walking on the street, he wants to go this direction, and you stop your car. This is
Sukriti.
This is Bhakti Sukriti. And without Bhakti Sukriti, nobody can come to Krishna. Nobody. That's why the most precious, the most beneficial person in any planet, in any universe, anywhere in the material world, is a Krishna devotee. And they are very, 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 very rare. So anyone that came in contact with the pure devotee of Krishna is actually, at that moment, is saved. He got something which you cannot got, nothing which is more valuable than this. So it is a big fortune that we came in contact with pure devotees. We are very fortunate because Krishna is sending them here. When he sees that such and such jivas is capable to come to me, okay, I will come to them and save them. And he's coming in the form of pure devotee.
Nice realization.
We actually don't know how fortunate we are. We cannot put in this brain. We don't have this capacity. But we can accept this because we heard this from his pure devotees. They can know. They know everything. And if we listen to them, we will be delivered also. We just have to do this. We just have to open hearts to a pure devotee of Krishna. Then whatever we will do, it will help us to come closer to Krishna.
That's why the most dangerous thing is the offense. To make offense.
Yeah.
That's the most.
This can stop us.
You can't get it anywhere else. It's your only connection. You make some offense, so what hope is there? You're cut off. So this offense, very careful not to develop some offensive mentality. For me, the way I try to do it is I just see that everyone is actually serving Krishna. Some may be serving not so favorably, but they're actually serving Krishna. So I don't want to, I maybe don't agree with some things or whatever, but I have to see that they are somehow or other serving, and then try not to, see any other way. That's the best I've been able to do with that. So because I don't want to get offensive mentality. So it's that's best I've been able to do with it. Everyone serving Krishna.
Notice they are very merciful. They will not take any offense. They will not take offense at all. But Krishna is not like that.
Even demons are serving. Even demons are serving Krishna. Even demons are serving Krishna, because Krishna likes to fight.
Yeah.
Not all the demons get that chance.
Yes,
You've got to be a special demon too to get to fight Krishna.
I didn't say devotional.
I
didn't say it was devotional. It's service, but it's not devotional. It's a
service. But sometimes he just arranged his own devotees. He said, "You go there, and you will have to fight with me. I want to fight. So he will never fight with someone which is not his devotee. Why?
No.
Why would he do this? He don't need to fight with anyone. He has his own devotees. They are coming here and they are playing like a lila. They are like big demons and like this. But actually they are not. So
Jai and Vijay came to fight with Krishna.
Yes. They are just playing, the lilas, so that we conditioned soul can learn something.
But then the question might arise that, well, other people are affected by these demons, and they're put into suffering conditions, so that doesn't seem right. Why would Krishna do that? He wants to have to suffer because... So then the mind might think like that, well, I don't know, I can't accept that.
This is Krishna's mercy. When devotees are making these leelas that jivas are suffering, this is Krishna's mercy because they have such karma. And if Krishna sends some demon to play with us, to get rid of our bad karma, then we are very fortunate souls. No,
only a devotee can.
Merciful.
It says
He is all merciful. He has Maya here. Maya is a perfect servant. Krishna said, whoever will not want to come to me, Maya, my dear energy, please make them big sufferings, so that finally
they will realize.
Some they like to surrender because they like this, and some will surrender because they cannot tolerate this suffering anymore. So Maya is a Krishna's devotee, very special energy, and at the second when she sees a jiva that wants to surrender to Krishna, immediately she will make also arrangement. She will just go away. And this jiva is already going to Krishna. She will never bother a devotee. Never, because when someone surrenders to Krishna, Not 100%. Nobody can surrender 100% in a second. But okay, it is also possible, but very rare situation. When some jiva wants to surrender to Krishna, then Maya goes away. Then Krishna is taking her.
Maya tests us still to see if we are sincere. We come to the point that she is convinced we want Krishna, nothing else, then she steps aside.
Yeah,
So,
this is a very high level.
Till then she tests us. You still want Krishna or you want Krishna and something else?
Yeah, yes, but
So we can see how perfect she is in her service, because she will not anyone with a tinge of material desire. She said no, she won't allow, because you have to become completely purified. So till that time
she will not do
keep
like
testing.
This. She will no. You know, whatever Maya is doing before you surrender to Gurudev and Krishna is another thing, is another test. It is only for pushing you to Krishna. But when you
actually it is.
Yes, but when you have your desire in your heart, whatever small it is, then Maya will never drag you away from Krishna. Never. This is not for seva. When you want to surrender to Krishna, Maya will step
back,
and Krishna personally will send you tests. Why? Because Krishna will send you the test as he thinks that it is good for you, that you will be faster, you will go more fast to him. Because nobody wants us there in Golok more than Krishna.
So one may wonder, Mataji, when is the point that Maya stops testing and Krishna starts testing?
They both have only one plan. One plan. To go from here back to Godhead. They have both same goal. But the system is a little different. Because when Jiva is opposed to Krishna, needs another teachings. When Jiva wants to go to Krishna, needs another teachings. And this is not the same thing. Not the same. It may look from outside the same. This Prabhuji, he is now in Bhakti Yoga. Look at him. He's suffering so much. Before he had a job, now he lost the job. Before he had a wife, now he left everything. Now he has no place to stay. He has no money. He's very ill. This, that. This is not the same. Krishna is arranging him to, for his karma to be more fast. Whatever devotee must go through, Krishna will be with him. Okay, you go through this, you go to this, you go to this. I will be with you all the time. And when devotee is suffering, this is not suffering. This is Krishna's mercy. When jivas, conditioned jivas, that are averse to Krishna, are suffering, they are suffering their own karma. This is completely different thing. Devotees, they don't have any they don't need to be afraid about the bad karma they have. It's unimportant for them. Because Krishna will give the test that will bring us more close to him. Even if we fall down, we can never fall down same as conditioned soul can fall down. Never. This is completely different downfalling. That's why if we see one devotee, let's say he was a very good devotee, maybe he served Srila Prabhupada, he was one of the first devotees, this, that, and then all the sadhana, everybody here, he left everything, he has now Maya, lady, this, that. This is completely wrong. All devotees that were serving pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada or others, they may fall for maybe for one life or two or whatever, it doesn't matter.
They'll come
But
back eventually.
they have such they have such capital, you know, such account, bhakti account that you can maybe just dream about. So we should never see this as a fall down. If this person that fall down has a disciples, they are obliged to help him, not to leave him and go other way. They must help to their spiritual master. He came to save them. And then when he fall down, they are going away. What is this? This is not a disciple. This is not a disciple. So anybody who is not a disciple, how can he criticize? He's not a guru.
But also,
First you have to be a disciple.
thing is, we're coming to philosophical discussions here. That
No, it's very. Actually, this is not a philosophy. This is what we can see every day.
where are
It's
you
not so
situated,
easy.
Mataji?
It's not so easy to swim in this ocean of birth. In any time we can sink down. It's very important.
Yes.
Yes, because it is written in
Vision
whatever I said is this written in the
initiated by one of
Shastras.
Prabhupada's godbrothers. He's one of God
Shastras are saying
who loves Prabhupada.
how to act if your Gurudev is experiencing.
Her way of seeing things maybe just a little different angle of vision on seeing things.
Yes.
It's not that what I do with it is it's not that in order for me to be right, everybody else has to be wrong. I don't do that. It's like a spectrum, you know. Everybody can be right because in the spiritual world there's no right or wrong. Everyone's trying to serve Krishna. So there may be different angles of vision and understanding. But it always comes down to an individual. What resonates with their heart? And so, you know, you're expressing some ideas that are valid, but they may not be valid in all situations. I have to leave it open like that. In other words, I can accept what you're saying. Yes, that makes perfect sense. That's a wonderful devotional perspective.
This is from Shastra, Mataji. I don't know this. I don't know this about.
There are other instructions that say if the spiritual master is not following properly, then you can leave him. There's those instructions too. They're in the
But you can read in the Shastras what to do in this.
It's an individual. We have an individual relationship with Krishna. Finding the spiritual master is a very personal, individual thing. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. It just isn't. There are guidelines, but ultimately it's a mystical experience. And, you know, as you study more like Chaitanya Leela and, you know, some of the, you know, pastimes, you can see how really mystical it really is. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all. I can accommodate, you know, what different points of view. I can accommodate that, different angles of vision, and it's not like one is right and the other's wrong and I have to pick a side. I don't have to do that. I can see that, yes, this is right in this instance, but then also this is right in another instance. And we can see, you know, in Krishna consciousness that happens a lot, like with Krishna and Ashwatthama. On the one hand, Bhima, and he was saying, we have to kill Ashwatthama. He's killed the 5 sleeping sons. Mm-hmm. And Arjuna also promised that he would kill Ashwatthama. But then on the other hand, Draupadi's going, no, you can't kill him. I don't want her mother to suffer. This goes against all reason. He's done a terrible thing, but we can't behave like this. It's not human. It's not civilized. So Arjuna's like, what do I do? So he figured Krishna give him a little hint, and he figured it out. Oh, we'll disgrace him so he can't take part in society, which means he's as good as dead. But he's not dead. So he was disgraced. They disfigured his hair and his jewel and like this. And it was, in those days, society was a very, very important thing, obviously. And so disgraced like that, he left. So he was as good as dead. So situations arise, you know, and also, what was it? In order to defeat one of the great generals, Yudhishthira had to tell a lie.
Mm.
He had to say that Ashwatthama had, in order to kill
Ashwatthama
Dronacharya.
is dead.
Yeah, but
So the Ashwatthama, the elephant.
say it
Ashwatthama, the elephant is dead.
Ashwatthama, the elephant, is dead, and then you won't lie. But this goes on continually. There are different ways to deal with this. It's a very individual thing. I was just reading about Shiva and Parvati and Narada Muni getting the prasadam from Lakshmi Devi. He served Lakshmi Devi because he wanted Mahaprasad from Lord Vishnu's plate. But Lakshmi had received strict instruction from Lord Narayan. No one gets Mahaprasad from my plate. No one. Just Lakshmi Devi gets it. Nobody else. But Lakshmi, in a moment of compassion, she said, okay, I'll get you some. And then she realized her mistake. How am I going to do this? He told me not to, and now I promised Narada I'm going to do it. So she went to the Lord and she said, I've got a problem. It's funny because Sudarshan Chakra was there, and he heard Lakshmi Devi say, I have a problem. And Sudarshan Chakra got a little nervous because he's supposed to protect Lakshmi Devi. He's like, Lord Vishnu glanced at him like, why does she have a problem? You know, what's going on here? You're supposed to protect her. And then Lakshmi said, no, it's not Sudarshan's fault. It's a different kind of problem. And Sudarshan sighed a sigh of relief. Oh. Whatever it wasn't my fault. It wasn't something I missed. Oh. And then, so he said, all right, the way to solve this is my order stands. No one gets prasadam. But I also give you another order. When I'm not looking, you can take some and give to no one. So you didn't disobey my order, but at the same time, I also gave another order. So this goes on. And it's the transcendental world. There's no right or wrong. 1 and 1 equals 1. 1 minus 1 equals 1. There's no good or bad. There's no up or down. There's no birth or death. There's no loss or diminution when we perform the devotional service. It's the absolute world, something we can't conceive of at this point. We can hear about it and think it's something that we want to enter into, but we're still stuck a little bit in some dualities. Now, there are scriptural guidelines, you know, and we do follow those, but we can see sometimes there are contradictory instructions. And we see, like in the letters, Srila Prabhupada wrote a lot of letters, and we see instructions that are just for that particular person. They don't apply to everyone. So, hey Krishna, there's no like rigid set in stone, it's like this, and it's a formula, and if you plug it in or you put your nickel in the machine, you're going to get your soda pop.
It not works.
No, it's mystical experience, mystical relationship. The Lord is the supreme mystic. So I have to see things like that just to protect myself so I don't get caught up in, you know, who's right, who's wrong in this argument, and, you know,
That's why normally, even if you see, like you said now, this Lila about Lakshmi Devi she went to ask someone. We should follow this. When we had some problems, you know, we should go to pure devotees if possible, or some devotees who are more advanced, and ask them the same way as Lakshmi Devi asked. I have a problem, this and this problem. And then when you ask how to do it, normally they will always say, like you said, they will tell, in Shastra it is written like this, but if it is not possible like this, then you can do like this. And if it is not possible like this, then you do like this. But what is the point? The point is when you go to someone who is more advanced than you and ask him, and then you also follow what is said to you, this is the best, because you actually put your burden to someone else.
There is a point. There is a point,
you know,
where the Lord within the heart will guide the devotee. There is a point. The spiritual master is the external manifestation of the Lord within the heart. And there is a point where the devotee does make a connection with Super Soul, and Super Soul will guide that devotee.
Yeah.
And so he brings them might come into contact with other devotees like this. So that Super Soul within the heart, the Chaitya Guru, there's a purport in the Gita where Prabhupada explains, if everything else is not available, if it's not working in the association of devotees, you can't find someone that you can relate to on a personal level. It's not that the person is devotee, but it has to be a personal connection. It can't be a great devotee but a stranger. There has to be some personal, and that's Krishna's arrangement to bring that connection. If that's not available, Krishna within the heart will guide that devotee. He explains it in the purport. So it always has to resonate within the heart. It can't just be, I read this and this said that and this other thing and this is the way it is, and that's here. No. Here we have to use this, but it's actually here.
To surrender the heart.
The Super Soul is in the heart. So for me, I'm reading the Vaishnava literature, and I'm feeling that connection within my own heart with the souls. And then if I'm fortunate to have some association where we can discuss these things and enliven each other in Krishna consciousness, then I just want more, that's all. On this level, this heartfelt level, I want this. I don't want all of this so much. When I'm reading, I'm not reading just to learn something. We talked about this before. I want to experience the devotion that's in the writings, because these are pure devotees. They're writing from a devotional platform, a loving platform for Krishna. So that's, kind of like why it's really kind of nice that we're meeting together now.
This is a very nice, because you see, like Krishna said, you surrender your mind to me. When we are listening, reading, and discussing about Krishna.
Now, for disciples of Srila Prabhupada, he is not personally manifest right now. And there are a lot of disciples who had his association, and there are a lot of disciples who are making connection with him through his teachings, through his books, and through the other disciples, which is really the way I made a connection with Prabhupada. I didn't have much personal. I didn't sit there around him all day, eating pakoras or anything. I saw him a few times from the back of the room, It was always a big crowd. I made my connection through the other devotees who were surrendered to this great soul, the Srila Prabhupada. So for the devotees like that, the disciples, Prabhupada's not physically present, so we have to find him. Just because he's not physically present doesn't mean he doesn't exist, or now I have to find someone else. It doesn't mean that. It means it's a challenge. Where is Prabhupada now? Where is he? I have to find him. And for myself, he's in my heart. He was there all along because he's with Krishna. Krishna's in my heart. So he's taking me to Krishna. Not like Krishna out there somewhere, although Krishna is out there. He's in different ways. But especially here. He's with Krishna. He's in my heart. So these are some things that I'm going through personally. I can try to share it. And when I read the books, then Prabhupada's pleased within the heart, because they're about Krishna. And it's a mystical experience. And
yes, definitely.
I think you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I know this because I have the same experience. So for me, it's nothing. I was when I started to read Bhagavad Gita, I was connected to Srila Prabhupada more to any person in this world.
So if we have the opportunity to take advantage of...
It's because this is on the transcendental level.
We want that. We want that. There are many wonderful devotees, and they have such beautiful, wonderful realizations, and some of them are acting as gurus, like in the Gaudiya Math. There's wonderful devotees there, great souls. So we can be appreciative. We can take advantage. It's no problem. It's wonderful. and we can associate together. But in a personal level, each one of us, we have our personal connection. It's like being married. You know, you have your husband. So, oh, your husband is very nice, but he's your husband. He's not my husband. Of course, with Krishna, it's different, you know, but still he separated himself out anyway to accommodate that. You want to feel like I'm yours exclusively? Okay. Actually, I belong to everyone, but you want to feel exclusive with me? Okay, we can do that. But, yeah. So
Yeah,
there's differences,
yeah.
you know, there's similarities, but there's variety, unlimited variety, and that's what makes it so much fun. Is that all right? Did I say something wrong? I don't know. Running off here.
So. Ultimately,
Everything is checked.
actually, at this point in my life, I have so many questions. You know, like these philosophical questions where I stand and how I should view things. I'm not sure if you have time to discuss and get into this now, or you should something for another setting.
Let's meet again.
So if you, because it's the thing is, like Mataji, I'm very, very happy because we're realizing more and more that it's becoming more and more rare to have association of Srila Prabhupada's direct disciples. And, you know, I want to take advantage, you know, like with Meena Mataji, making yourself available here for us on the internet, you know, to get a little insight of your realizations, your dedication to Srila Prabhupada. That is for my, like, you know, the concern. That's why I want to do this. But that doesn't take away that I experienced a lot, and I'm like kind of still, I'm trying to find answers. You know, I don't know it all. And sometimes I pretend to know it and be convinced, but in my heart, I'm not always convinced. You know, I'm still very much searching for my own path, you know, and but I know that, you know, those questions will be answered only if I dive into Srila Prabhupada's books. You know, so this reading together is very important because I want to hear Prabhupada. What is Prabhupada saying and what Prabhupada wants me to do?
The more we hear pure messages of Godhead, and Prabhupada is the foremost presenter of these pure messages. He's spearheaded the mission for spreading the pure message. He's opened it up for everyone. So the more we hear pure messages of Godhead, the more the other things will fall into line. They will. In other words, it's the root of the tree. We water it, then everything will come. If we try to fix this over here and fix that over there, and what about this and what about, we won't get anywhere.
So that's my thinking, you know, like now that's my thinking now, because I'm in a situation where I'm not sure anymore. I've seen so many different perspectives, and I've thought that's right and that's right, but actually when it comes down to it, I don't really know. So now I'm just leave it to Krishna, and I'm thinking, you know, I came for the purpose. I was attracted to Krishna consciousness because of Srila Prabhupada. I followed it. I tried different ways. I tried with different spiritual masters, and it's not working, you know. So I'm in a thing. I'm going back, and I'm going to where I started when I found Srila Prabhupada, and start to hear again, you know, and see what I'm missing. You know, there is something there I'm missing, you know, because I'm not applying the process as it should be. If I was, you know, then I would feel, hearing. So that's the, you know, so how should I hear? You know, what is it that I'm missing in my hearing? Because if the proper hearing is there, the proper application will be. And that's where, you know, after all these years, I realized somewhere I'm going wrong. You know, so determining what is the way ahead.
At some point,
that is the objective.
At some point, there's a transformation that takes place, and there's a taste that develops for hearing and chanting. At some point, that happens. So that is what we want. We want to be able to actually relish what we're hearing and what we're chanting. And we just have to keep practicing. And if we have some good association, then that taste will come.
Yeah.
And you can taste it. It's just like taking prasadam. Just like, you
Very
have some maha prasadam from the spiritual master. Oh, boy, it's like, wow, with Narada Muni, you got the maha prasadam. He's like,
yeah. Actually, with me, it's completely different. Mataji, when I first joined, Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, I'm not sure what it was, but in the first 6 months of my being in Krishna consciousness, I relished such sweetness of Krishna consciousness that I cannot describe it, and it's something that I lost after that. But it makes me like hanker for it again and again and try to come back to that. I remember it's like the story of Narad Muni, when he saw Lord Vishnu and then he disappeared and he told him, you won't see me again in this lifetime. You have to come and qualify for that. I feel like the same. Krishna gave me that sweetness, that relishing of Krishna, that feeling that this world, there's no time, and something that I lost. First of all, I was thinking, where did I deserve that from? That being completely Vaikuntha, being out of this world. And then suddenly I was crashed down and found myself dealing with, oh my God, I thought I was liberated, but I was not. So it's like, and I'm thinking, where is this taste? Where is that feeling? Where is that feeling so completely into Krishna, is that is what I want to go back to. That's what I want to feel again. That's what I want to relish again.
Let's go together, huh?
Yes. So, but that is the process. The process is Sankirtan. So we can't do it on our own. If we chant together, we chant the holy names together, we read together, we associate together, you uplift each other, and on our own, no one can make it. No one, so we will fall away on the way.
There's something that happens.
Mataji, you try to ask yourself, what did you do at that time, at the beginning? What did you do that you get this special mercy from Krishna?
I think it was completely
you will figure out. You ask yourself a few times or meditate on this, and the answer will come. I guarantee this to you.
Because I was like, I'm not sure, because I was like I was dived into it, I was thinking I want Krishna and nothing else. I just want to I want to get to Krishna. It was like that completely childlike innocence, and thinking like
It was a surrender, Mataji. It was a surrender. And the key point in Bhakti Yoga is surrender. Nothing else. Yeah. Because we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything which will bring us near to Krishna. It is that when we surrender to Krishna and we know we cannot do anything, then Krishna is coming, not before. When we think, I will go to Krishna, I will do this, I will do that, then Krishna is thinking, okay, he don't need me. Why would I come? You
but
think
it's so,
about. You will figure out. I don't know for you, but I can tell you that you can get this question, but you have to surrender, and you surrender in the same way as you surrendered in the beginning.
It's difficult though. It's so easy when you're in the temple and with devotees and the deities and everything around.
No, don't speak about external things.
Yes, surrender in the heart.
At that time, you didn't know nothing about this. You just knew what you want, and you surrendered to Krishna, nothing else. You think about, you will see. You will tell me after 2-3 years. I will ask you. Really, if you try in this way, you will figure out. Krishna will help you. It's only surrender, nothing else. Of course, like Mataji Meena said, the easiest way is when you are in the sadhu sangha. But it is, like you said, it is very difficult to find now the sadhu sangha because sadhus are very rare, very rare. We came in contact with Krishna consciousness because of Srila Prabhupada. But where will you find such a person? It's not easy. So we should not think in this way. You should think in another way. But don't worry, because like Mataji Nina said, we cannot see Srila Prabhupada here in this planet now. He is not manifesting Leela here. He's manifesting Leela elsewhere. But this does not mean that he is not here.
No, of course he is.
So anyone in this planet, anytime can get his mercy, not even a smallest less than those who were present here when he manifested his Leela. It's the space, the place, there's no, this is external. So don't worry. You can make a contact, you pray to Srila Prabhupada, you will see what will happen.
Well, that's it. You see, so that's for me. It's like it's learning. You know, it's a learning process, and it's going. You know,
it's a learning process, Mataji.
Learning process.
You didn't learn anything in the first 6 months. What did you learn? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's a loving process. It's not
process. Yes, it's not so much learning. Yes.
We are. You know what? Why we have to learn? We have to learn because we have to spend some time with the learning. Otherwise, we will spend this time with the Maya. So Krishna is very, very merciful. He said you should do this and this and this and this and this. Why? Because he don't want that we have a little time, because immediately we will spoil it, you know. That's why. But we cannot come in this way. It's a loving process.
Yes.
Loving, absolutely. Srila Prabhupada, why disciples of Srila Prabhupada was so successful when he was here? You know why? Because they loved Srila Prabhupada. They never think about him like a teacher, this and that. No, they just loved him, and he loved the devotees. He loved them, and he gave them love. Maybe you can read. He made so much books, so many, this knowledge, this, that. This is a secondary. The first is he loved the disciples. Any his disciple will ask, they will tell you this was the energy that we lived on. The soul can live only on love. Only on love energy. No other energy is necessary or is capable to make you alive to love Krishna. It's not possible. You have to love. And this has to be practiced. But you cannot practice if you are alone, if you are only with books, you don't have sadhu sangha or this or that. I don't know. But you have to love. You can love Srila Prabhupada whether he is here or not. There's no problem. No problem. I never in my life loved more than Srila Prabhupada. But I never met him. Never. But this love that he brought here to this planet, and somehow, by the good fortune, I also felt in this energy of love. We don't need anything else. Is it for me, you see, I never saw Srila Prabhupada, but 3 months before our Gurudev came, my Gurudev came to save me. 3 months before I had a dream, and Srila Prabhupada told me this, that my Gurudev will come. So you cannot go any other way. You can figure out whatever you want, but the only way is surrender to Gurudev and Krishna.
Can I ask you a question, a personal question? Where are you situated, Mataji, and who's your spiritual master?
I am situated in Slovenia. My spiritual master is Bhakti Balab Tirtha Maharaj.
Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Maharaj.
Tirtha Maharaj.
He is from.
He is from I mean, I don't know how to what to say. Okay, I will say something. Maybe it will be the answer on your question. Actually, he manifests this material lila in Assam in 1924, and he surrendered to Srila Bhakti Deta Madhav Maharaj when he was 23 or 4. And Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj is a guru brother of Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada from ISKCON. So they were god brothers.
Okay. God brother Srila Prabhupada.
Yes. He's Gurudev.
His Gurudev, yeah.
Yes, he's Gurudev. My Param Gurudev.
What's his name again?
Bhakti Balakrishna Maharaj is my Gurudev, and Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj is disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
Okay, Madhav, yeah.
Yes,
right.
Prabhupada. And my Gurudev is now 91 or 92 years old, and he is completely in the internal lila now, so I cannot I cannot communicate in the way that I was before, because he's not speaking. He's not.
Did you you met him? You had some interaction?
Yes, every morning at 2:45. Now there is a internet conference from Calcutta, so I can have darshan of my Gurudev every morning.
Okay, you're fine.
Sometimes this was also before, but then they stop. Now they start like this. But I met him this year for Gurpurnim. I was 1 month and a half in India.
But you were in ISKCON before?
Yes, but actually, how to say, I was 10 years going to ISKCON temple, but I was never initiated, or I was like going to Sunday feast. I was one of the devotees that said they are coming to Prasad.
Okay, they're only coming for the prasadam.
Yes. But I was very fond of Srila Prabhupada, so anybody would, everybody would chant different bhajas with devotees, this, that, but you would never hear me listen to this. I was always listening only to Srila Prabhupada. I didn't want to listen anything else. If I would drive, the devotees in my car and this and that place or whatever, they would be very disappointed. Never you can hear nice Maha Mantra in my car. Always Srila Prabhupada. Always just him. I always said he's not chanting or singing bhajans. I said, can you not hear what he's speaking to Krishna? Why are you not listening to this?
Yeah.
I said, well, how can you have taste to this singing? You listen here. This is meditation. This is speaking to Krishna.
Yeah, his books are like that too. They're not just books.
They're transcendental chanting.
Scripture.
Yes. Never stop. 24 hours. I think I broke 2 or 3 these cassettes that time when I start, 2 or 3 broken because 24 hours, when I wake up with this was already, and when I went to sleep, it has to all the time. Then I had, some marans, I don't know, everybody said, this is a very powerful, this is the best. I spent so much money, but also broken. No material things can tolerate this, what I wanted to relish, because otherwise my soul would be dead.
Yes, transcendental food, prasadam.
Yes. No need to anything else, you see. So yes, like Mataji Meena said, she said Bhakti Yoga is very, very mystical. very mystical. You never know what will happen to you. You never know. It's for me. It is like, you know, I cannot say that I was the same person before. I always say, oh, this was in my previous life. I cannot relate to whatever was before I came to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
I cannot relate to this anymore. I don't know who was there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know. I am interested in my next.
We are actually very fortunate in whatever way we come in contact. Again, you know, it's like so many billions of people in this planet. How many have come in contact with Krishna consciousness? You know,
Yes.
and so whoever is there, you know, like taking Lord Chaitanya, so, you know, he actually honors anyone who says even Krishna's name once is considered a devotee, you know, like now with Ratha Yatra, you know, so many millions of people come forward to see Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath considers them all his devotee. So actually, in one sense, it's a very unique time in which so many souls are coming in contact with Krishna consciousness. And on the other hand, because we see there's so many devotees, and then, you know, not many are going serious, and like that we look at it in very relative way, depending, like Mataji said, Meena Mataji, see, you know, like we have from different viewpoints, from different vision point of views, you get another picture, you know. So in one sense, you can see what a wonderful time when so many people come in contact with Krishna consciousness. And on the other way, we think, you know, if only we could become more Krishna conscious, then people will take to it. So it's, you know, like different views, and
Both
like
in
I
the
say, it's
same time.
for first time in history that, you know, globally people are becoming devotees of Krishna, you know, because of Srila Prabhupada, who brought Lord Chaitanya's, you know, the prophecy, he fulfilled that prophecy of that in every town and village my name will be heard. You know, and Srila Prabhupada was the one chosen to do that. You know,
Yes.
he brought Krishna consciousness, you know, to the West, to America, and from there it spread all over the world. And now you can see, you know, it's like Krishna has like this global plan in time. And we see so many different interactions happening, because like it was like before, you know, when Prabhupada was there, he was begging his god brothers, and they come and work together, and we all, you know, expand and take the message and preach Lord Chaitanya's message, and they didn't come. But now some other is changing, because there are so many different people, different Vaishnavas preaching all over the world. And what didn't happen then, it's happening now, and people becoming Vaishnavas. So many people, so many sanghas, you know,
Yes,
developing.
this is the same. This is the same thing today. We read Bhagavad Gita, and in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, "Arjun, why you not want to fight? Why you are so sentimental? This is not. You should be more bright. You see, all these persons you see in this battlefield are already killed. I did it. But what I want you
To take the credit.
yes. So Krishna is working actually all the time the same way. So this time was the same. Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everything did it before. When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was meditating for 6 years in Mayapur, you know, eating, chanting three lakhs,
The lakhs of
eating
names.
only water and mud. So after he did so much tapasya, he got the darshan of whole Panchatattva. All of them came. Narad Muni came. All of them came. They came to him, and Krishna said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Why are you sitting here? Why are you doing this? You have to go out and preach. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, you know what? How can I go? I have no manpower, I have no money. Where and how I will go to preach? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't worry. I will send you money and I will send you manpower. And you have to understand that all disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was sent by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally. And if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants that Srila Prabhupada did this, no disciple of him can help him. They could not say this. Even our Gurudev was asked from Srila Prabhupada to go with him. But he could not go. He was the secretary of our Parang Gurudev. How can he go? He was surrendered to his Gurudev. He has, his seva like this. How could he go? But still our Gurudev always says, I made an apparat to Swami Maharaj at that time. I could not follow his desire. I could not go. And this, we have to understand these things in a bright way. It is not that anybody can do anything by his own will.
No, because it's all.
The disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was so surrendered to him. They could not do anything against the plan that was made by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and whole Pancha Tattva at that time in Mayapur. Not possible.
There's a bigger picture, because Lord Chaitanya has already decided. You see?
Yes.
Who will be safe, who will be, liberated in the course of these 10,000 years that Krishna consciousness will be.
Nobody
on this
can
planet.
change this.
So
Nobody
we are
can
there,
change
and we can be part of it, and we can uplift ourselves and help uplift others. That's the only thing we can do.
If you want,
because, and it's like
doors are open. Like Mataji Meena said, Srila Prabhupada opened the door to everyone. So
exactly.
Anybody can come and get the benefit or not. Nobody has right to force them. Nobody has right. Krishna is not forcing anyone. You should not see anyone in this world, oh, this is karmi, this and that. And this. No, he has a free will.
Yeah. Actually, everyone has to follow their own path. Like Krishna says, everyone follows, actually my path. Krishna says, everyone follows my path in one way or other. So we have all different paths, and sometimes these paths cross. And I think the idea is to think how we can take from each other and enhance, how we can move forward by, taking the good from others, and what is not to our use, we can just leave it where it is, and like a Vaishnava association means being respectful, appreciating the good things, appreciating foremost what binds us is Krishna. What binds us are the holy names, in our dedication to Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, the parampara. So if we unite it in that, then we make a start. I think that's like unifying factor is the chanting of the Hare Krishna. When we chant Hare Krishna, all differences fall away. And then you wonder what is all this quarreling, this, that, this camp, that camp. Actually it's one big camp of devotees of Lord Krishna.
Yes, because what the most important thing is common to all of us, and this is Mahamantra.
Yeah, so Yuga Dharma, Hari Nam Sankirtan, Hari Nam, Hari Nam, Hari Nam Eva Kevalam. Kalonasti, Kalonasti, Evanasti, Gatiranyatha. There is no other way than the chanting of the holy names congregationally. So if we can differ in so many different ways, and it's just like Lord Chaitanya's philosophies on Chintya Veda Veda Tattva, simultaneously one and difference. You can keep all these differences. If we could only unite on this one thing, no matter who is your guru, what camp you belong to, let's join together and just chant, and just like flood this world with the pure chanting of Krishna's names. And I think even if we could only do that, and only take prasadam and distribute prasadam, so much could be achieved.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
before we can,
We have such beautiful things in common, huh? And other
yeah.
things actually are not important, but
The other things
we
are
are
not.
so much in that things. Why? It doesn't matter. It's not
No,
important
doesn't matter.
at all.
So that's why I think is Krishna consciousness is very simple for the simple-minded and becomes so complicated for those who want to make it complicated.
Okay, they can do if they like. If they are doing for Krishna, they have to continue. But I prefer something else.
So, yeah, that's like Srila Prabhupada gave. You say you become Krishna conscious by chanting, dancing, and feasting. You can go back to Godhead just doing that. But you want to have discussion philosophy. He gave us many books. You read them, you can discuss.
It's
Your
important.
mind intellectually.
Yes, definitely it is important.
So,
Otherwise, why would Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Rupa
yes,
Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami,
to write all these books.
Yes, it's important. But it depends, who you are, whether you need this or not, or you have capacity or don't have capacity. You should find your way, like you said. We have to follow our way, which is favorable for us to progress, because otherwise the goal is to come to Shuddhanam. It's not so easy. Shuddhanam means chanting the name without any offense, and this is not very easy. And this is only the beginning. Chanting the holy name Shuddhanam is the beginning. We didn't come even to beginning. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone, but I didn't come to beginning.
Because you only have to chant. If you just chant one Shuddhanam, you become liberated. So we're still conditioned. So
I'm still practicing.
We're still practicing to come to this platform of Shuddhanam, because that's what
I'm still practicing.
At least you can chant, offenselessly.
Yeah.
In the process of the practicing, then from there we can
many levels, but still our goal should be this, so that we will come to this point that we would be able to progress in sadhana bhakti. It's a many steps.
Different steps.
The first thing is Upadeshamrita.
Yeah.
Go through the Shamrita and see which is my level.
Vachuvegam Manasakrodha Vedam. Control the mind, senses.
Yes, and then you have to see yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, "Oh, my dear Dasi, you have a lot of work to do."
Exactly. But it helps to come together like this, and give food to our dull minds.
Yeah.
At least think. And I think that's why it's nice, like when getting like this together and make like short-term planning in our own, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to take this, what's going to be the next step. At least for me like that, I try to take the inspiration and kind of uplift myself, because just now I am on my own, and I'm not in a temple setting. I don't have devotees around me to inspire me, so I'm taking the inspiration that's coming through internet, reading.
Yes,
and I'm so happy that Meena Mataji took this.
Yes, she's so perfect. Oh my God!
To take this.
She will say, "You will not come to my sangha anymore. I have no time to speak anything."
I'm into hearing. I'm going to stop this from being, closed, but we're still communicating.